I am here in my home office and I am getting ready to go look at a work office. It is a little bit earlier in the year than I intended. It's December the 29th, 2020 right now. Originally, I was not planning on getting a office space until February or March of next year. But as I was casually looking around, I did see a Craigslist ad for a space that is a building with 6 offices, a shared waiting area, break room, and a group room, and it is mostly other counselors and therapists who have offices there. So I felt like it was worth checking out even though the timeline wasn't quite right. Not sure how it's gonna go. It's a little bit more than I'm wanting to pay for a space like that, and the Craigslist ad did not say if all of the utilities and internet and that kind of thing are included, so that's going to factor into it pretty heavily. So yeah, since this is a vlog, I'm going to be taking you guys with me, and yeah, this is the start of our journey. So here we go. So I forgot to say before that one of the things that really got me interested in it and made me think I should go ahead and look at it now, even though my time frame is really not until February or March, is that it's literally 5 minutes away from my house. So that would make my commute amazing. Alright, I thought I would give y'all an update on what is going on. So I arrived at the office and went inside, and I was not vlogging just because I'm not really used to vlogging. I've never really done this before, so I'm still trying to get used to doing this out in the world and feeling sort of uncomfortable about talking to a camera. I'm sure that's probably something that everybody goes through when they start this, but anyway. So I went to the office and I texted the woman who I had been texting with from Craigslist. It had specifically said not to call her, so we had been conversing completely over text. And we set up last Tuesday for me to come today at 10 o'clock to look at the office space. That was exactly a week ago. So I texted her when I got there, and I was like, hey, I'm here. And she texted me back and said, oh my God, I tried to follow up with you yesterday, and because you didn't get back to me, I assumed that you were no longer interested. Like, okay. So she sent me another text right after that and said she could be there in about 30 minutes. So I said, no problem, you know, I'll run some errands and I'll be back here in 30 minutes. I did take a couple pictures in the waiting room, but I didn't feel comfortable just like wandering through. My initial impressions, and I'll pop up the pictures here during editing, was that I really like the waiting room. That's something that's important to me. One of my big stumbling blocks right now is feeling like, do I get like an office evolution, Regis, they're called different things, different places, but essentially a co-working space that's an office in a larger office full of all different types of disciplines, like attorneys and accountants and that kind of thing, with a big shared waiting room. Or do I get a single office someplace where they might have to, my clients might have to just like sit maybe in a chair outside the office in the hallway because there's no waiting area? Or do I try to get 2 offices, one that I could use as a waiting area and one that I would use as an office? This might be repeating myself from my more structured do you need an office video, but I have found in practice as I've been looking that there's really not 2 office spaces available. Like, there are single offices, or it'll be like a suite with 2 to 3 offices and a waiting area, and that's way more than I need just for me. So then it potentially becomes, do I try to network and find a counselor or therapist or, you know, similar discipline that maybe wants to share the waiting area and use the second office and then split the costs with me. So the waiting area is something that has really been important to me because I want people to feel safe and secure. I did really like that when you first walk in, there is a sign that said you must wear a mask until you get to your appointment. There is and it said your temperature will be taken, and there was like one of those temperature guns. So I did really like that aspect of it. I thought the art was nice, like it was a good space. But we'll just have to see how the actual office looks. I've got about 5 minutes left. During this time I did run to a place about 3 miles away where I saw a for rent sign on a space that is potentially too large, but I figured since I had the time to kill, it wouldn't be a bad idea just to pop over there. So let's head back to the original office. 10:35 would be 30 minutes. I'm gonna swing through an office park on my way there to look at one that I know is too big, but I really like that I've seen online. And it's a few days after I filmed a video where I was looking at the office space, and I am excited and nervous to announce that I found an office space. I am absolutely terrified. So basically what happened is I went in. It is exactly what I had been looking for, and it just felt really good. It felt very comfortable, it felt warm, it felt inviting, quiet, very quiet office park, so not a ton of traffic. And the building is leased by an LCSW and an LPC, and they sublease out to other professionals. It's exactly what I was hoping to find, which means I've moved my timeline up quite a bit. I didn't initially have a set date, but kind of in the back of my mind, I was thinking maybe March. I wanted to know an address for credentialing, but I didn't want to spend too many months paying rent before I had money coming into this solo practice. However, I am excited about having a space that is dog free. You may have heard one of my dogs snuffling in the background there, and they've been in kind of a barky mood today ever since the postal truck went by. So I love my dogs, but I don't like working from home. So I'm really excited to have a space that's going to be quiet to use for telehealth, even when I'm doing my group practice clients. To begin with, it'll still be a quiet spot, which is definitely worth a few hundred of those dollars a month. You can also, I know because this microphone is great, hear my Jack Russell clicking down the hallway. So it's going to make life a lot easier for me to not have the dogs in the same space as I'm working in. So I don't think that it could be any better. The office is a little bit small, but price per square foot wise, it's still definitely within the normal range for my area. All the utilities are included. Internet is included. But, to be putting out any money for an office space when I have this group practice taking 40% of my income, I will just be paying out of pocket and not getting anything extra in until I have a couple clients that are under the solo practice. So that part
is extremely stressful. Yeah, the idea of putting out a significant amount of money out of my income from the group practice for hopefully not more than 2 months, 60 days, but you just don't know how long credentialing is going to take. So I'm assuming 90 days for credentialing, which any day now, please God, will I have my NPI too and can start that process. Plus, furnishing the office, it's just a big financial piece. You know, you have to put out money in the beginning and you have to spend money to make money. And I'm sure I'll do a video on decorating because I'm excited about that part. One of the things I dislike about the group practice space that I'm using now, in addition to the fact that it's a half an hour one-way commute, is that it's old and it's ugly and it is all donated furniture and it just does not project the aesthetic that I feel like is on brand for me, for my practice. So, you know, it definitely has that like inherited old clunky furniture nonprofit feel to it, which is fine. It is a nonprofit, but even though I went in and painted and decorated and got a couch cover, spent a couple $100 improving it, you know, it's just still old ratty carpet with stains, and the building just has weird quirks because it's really old, and I just don't love it. I don't love it. So I am excited about getting to intentionally pick the furniture and the art and put a feel to this solo practice that is inspired happiness. Stacey Aldridge, LCSW, all me. Because one of the things I did to save money, and I did a video on it actually about a year ago, and I will link that down below if I have shared it. It's a little bit cringy. But I did do a video on decorating that space on a budget, and one of the things that I did for the art was steal it from my dad. I had bought him a couple framed art birds because he loves birds. He collects birds. And I asked, hey, can I borrow those? Because I had this huge wall and the scale was just so much larger than anything I had. And I didn't want to put money out in art right then. And so I had these giant bird paintings on the wall, and birds are just not my thing. That's not my brand. Kind of trees and growth is kind of my brand. I have a big tree tattoo, half sleeve over here. So I'm excited about intentionally choosing how the space looks so that it feels the way that I want my clients to feel in my office. So I have an office, and at this point, I said February the 1st. Today is January the 4th. So February is quite a bit up from March, which is only a month earlier. So I'm trying to just keep myself calm and not run screaming down the street like my hair is on fire, which is what I want to do. So how do I feel? Excited, nervous, scared, terrified. And you know, I know that it's going to be okay, and I know that I'm going to be successful because I've been very successful this first year in private practice, and I have no doubt that that's going to continue. I had 5 emails over the weekend from potential clients, so the people are there. I'm sure I'll be doing more bits and pieces of this to let you guys see the office, and I will definitely do a decorating video because I'm excited about that. But not as much has gone into this as I expected. I expected to look at several different spaces and consult my budget and do all of this, but I do believe that things happen for a reason. I know that I've found the right space for my solo practice. So less content for y'all, but certainly easier for me. And I will see you again probably when we physically go into the office to do some measuring and do chairs. So we'll just have to see how all that goes, but you'll definitely be along for that.